Let's get locked in.
You're all from the Capitol? Plutarch got you out?
Don't expect much chit-chat from him. Capitol cut his tongue out years ago. And no, it wasn't any sort of rescue, if that's what you mean. We all fled on our own. For this. For you.
I mean, I think what's great about all these stories is it's, you know, you get to see the consequences of war and how it affects everyone, but it's made accessible to young people, you know, and they're able to understand it. And I think that's a great thing. You know, and the idea of how much positive impact one person can have.
It's good for adolescents because it doesn't talk down to them. It treats them like adults. And they're more than capable of dealing with the big and contradictory themes. And that's the success of the movies, because it treats them that way. And adults love it too because it's cathartic. They get to explore and look at the safe distance of fantasy. Themes that are all too relevant to our modern world, unfortunately.
First of all, it doesn't shy away from the realities of war, which I think is very interesting, and you know, really presents both sides in an interesting way, in that there are citizens on all sides of this that are, you know, are not aligned with President Snow, who would love to see a peaceful resolution, who aren't evil, you know, and there's a lot of gray area everywhere. So, you know, Katniss just wants to save her sister, but has started something that she now has no control over, and so is trying to get a little bit of that control back, you know, but really just wants to save her sister, right? Like, that's what it always comes down to.
I think a lot of young adults wouldn't necessarily see the things that an adult will take from this movie. It's no different to, like, I remember watching a Simpsons episode quite recently that I had seen when I was a kid that I totally didn't see the adult humour in, and then you watch it 10 years later and you're like, oh my god, how did I miss that, you know? But you just aren't quite aware, and or as much as you're taking the information in, it's not being crammed down your throat, you know? Right. So I think as much as this does tackle some incredibly difficult issues and themes and things that are so relevant in today's society, it doesn't force it upon, you know, children or young adults, but at the same time, those young adults that want to know more and, you know, do know about politics, they learn about it and are treated like adults.
Well, I think Mockingjay is the most political. You know, I mean, it really is, what are the repercussions of war? What are the actions that bring us to the brink of war and to the action, and then what are the repercussions? And I think it's fascinating in terms of the political machinations of the various sides, and you see, look, well, what makes one side a rebel and one side the terrorist, and why, you know, is it point of view? And she really dissembles, I think, the whole complex, the whole kind of war complex beautifully in the book.